In this video, I'm going to show you how you can convert your drawn image like this that you may have done on paper or in a pixel-based program like Photoshop or Procreate and convert it into a vector object using Adobe Illustrator. Go ahead and either scan your image or photograph your image, bring it into Photoshop and select it using the lasso tool. I might do this a couple of times just so that I can get the image alone rather than the annotation on the left-hand side. Once I'm happy with my image, I'm going to go and copy this. Putting it on a new document, I will then paste it and save it, giving it a logical file name. I'll go ahead and change the format to a JPEG because that's really all I need for now. Making sure to have it set to maximum, I'll save that and then go into Adobe Illustrator. I'll open it and place it on my artboard, just like that. And in fact, I'm going to move this off the screen so you can see one of the settings. You'll need to find your image trace menu over here, menu item. Some of you may have it on the top, like I have here using Essentials Classic. If you can't find it, it's also found in the image trace menu under the object menu over here. I'm going to go ahead and click on image trace, and then I need to open the image trace panel. The threshold setting over here simply means it'll try and make an image appear darker, either using black pixels or lighter using white pixels. Now, depending on what you desire from your piece of work will determine what you need to have here for your threshold setting. Generally, the higher you go, the darker it looks, or the thicker the lines and shapes get, and the less you go in the threshold means it might be a lighter image and you'll get thinner lines and shapes. The path setting means how close the traced result will be to the original image. Using a high setting may make it look a little bit rough. However, using a low setting might make your image look a little bit distorted. But again, depending on what you require for your image, you'll need to play around with this. The corners slider affects whether a curve will end up being a corner or stay as a curve. So the more corners you get, or the higher you go with the more, you'll get a sharper image, and by sharper you'll get something that looks angular, and the less amount you'll have something that's a little bit more rounded. Depending on what you need, you can adjust this to your liking. The noise setting tells Illustrator what parts to ignore while tracing, so the closer we go to 100, the less noise or unwanted parts you'll have. It'll eliminate certain parts. Whereas if I go closer to 1, or in fact go to 1, it'll start to show more of the rougher and maybe unwanted parts. Again, depending on what you want for your design, you'll have to play around with this so that you can find a happy medium. Once you're happy with all these, go ahead and click Ignore White because surprise, surprise, we don't want the white in there. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to click on Expand. Then I can close that down. Now bring this back to my artboard. Just as a really simple thing, that's how you can convert an image from a hand-drawn photograph or scan to then being a digital vector image. Now, you may not be happy with this, and so look at the next video to show how we can modify this.